Welcome to Bloomfield Lasher High School for Week 5 of the high school football season. It is Birmingham Brother Rice, 3-1 on the year, taking on the Lapeer Lightning. Ryan Slocum with you alongside Coach Pop. Coach, glad to be back with you today. This is an interesting matchup. Second year in a row, these two teams have met. We're going to take one quick break. We will break this game down for you in just a second, but let's take a pause for our national anthem. Alrighty, should be a great one, Coach Pop. Both teams 3-1 on the year, as we mentioned. Second year in a row they have played each other. Last year in Week 8, and it was all Lapeer in that one, 34-10. But this could be a whole different ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what Brother Rice is looking to do, right? They've got a little edge on their shoulders, a chip, if you might, and 34-10 last year, boys. We're playing well. We got some guys back, and it should be a different ball game tonight as far as they're concerned. And Lapeer is saying, hey, let's ride the 34-10 wave and keep that going, boys. Let's go.
No doubt. Both teams coming off big wins last week. Lapeer over Carmen Ainsworth up in the Saginaw Valley League, 35-8. And it's the Rice guys beating Bloomfield Hills 43-7. The big news coming into this one, though, Coach, more COVID concerns. This time it's for Lapeer. They had two kids that were exposed at school today. They did not know they were not going to play until after the bell rang. Hey, fellas, you're not getting on the bus. Unfortunate. Both kids are starters.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. One is a key component to their victory last week. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fill that. But this is that game. Next man up.
Well, here we
the
go.
kick.
Lapeer kicking off. And it is taken at about the 10-yard line. And, oh, we got one. Cole Lockenaria breaking his way up to about the 34-yard line. And that is where the Warriors will take over, just past the 35, actually. For the Warriors, the last time we were with you, they really opened it up. Jake Coulter had a career day, 22 of 32. He is the first Warrior to throw for 300 yards, Coach, in 6 years. Lapeer has had a couple of problems against the pass, against guys that can open it up. I would expect to see them try to air it out here.
Well, Coulter with that crew on the outer edge there with Lockenaria, Del Monte, they bring in Melia. You know, they do open it up, and they've got some skilled players, and you got to take advantage of what you do well.
And that is what they do well. Coulter in the shotgun, three guys on the bottom of your screen. And here we go, first down, first play from scrimmage of this one. And there it is, swings it out to Cole, but oh man, he is met as soon as he caught it.
I'll tell you what, you missed that block, and that kid makes a good read, and he comes downhill like that and is able just to smack Cole Lockenaria, and that's tough play to start with. Everett Allen coming off the edge there.
That's correct. The 10th grader getting a big tackle, trying to send a message right out of the gate. Lapeer, big up front. They do a lot of good stuff with their line, Coach.
They do a great job. Both sides of the ball. Coach over there, Coach Smith, does a fantastic job. Offense and defensive line. See what we have on play 2.
And the ball is handed off. Not much doing that time either. Nolan Ray on that carry. Doesn't get much on second down either.
And I'll tell you what, Toutman, true to form, right on cue, you nailed it. Comes down the line of scrimmage and makes the tackle.
So we've got a 3rd and long for the Warriors. Not the situation they want to be in right out of the gate.
See if we don't get something down the middle of the field here. First down yardage. See the receivers get down there, hold the blocking.
Once again, 3 guys on the bottom of your screen. Coulter with plenty of time. He had his man over the middle, like you said, but he fires just a little bit wide of Gianni Dalimonte.
Tell you what, offensive line, though, gave him a good look at what's going on. They ran a good route. He just ended up throwing that one wide, and now he's going to go to punt.
So it is 3 and out for the Warriors on their first possession of the game. Got to like that if you are a Lapeer Lightning fan. The Grand Blanc gave them all sorts of trouble earlier this year, Coach. Their one loss on the year. They opened it up. They got their skill guys out, and they put a whole lot of points on them in the first half. If you're Lapeer, you got to like what you did on that first drive.
Oh, I think right from the first play, the physicality on the skill players is something that really does a nice job against their speed. Great job by Coulter. Nice roll for Rice down inside the 25-yard line. Very good job flipping the field there.
Absolutely. Great job flipping the field. So Lapeer is going to have to do some work on their first possession. And, Coach, it is the exact opposite. We think the Warriors are going to try to air it out, get things done down the field a little bit. These guys get things down the field by pounding it down your throat.
Yeah, Coach Smith at the very beginning mentioned, hey, we need to put in succession lots of good running plays. First down after first down after first down. They rely on their offensive line. Great running backs, over 600 yards combined this year. Doing a great job for them, and we're going to see them come punch us in the mouth. That's what they want.
Here we go, first down, handoff, and we got a little trickeration right away. Looks like it's going to be a pass. Oh, and he had his man at the 40. It falls incomplete. So exactly when we say they're just going to run, they come out and do the exact opposite first play of the game, Coach.
Well, and you know what? That's what you do, right? You're in a tough ball game. You're on the road with a long trip. You let one of your good athletes, Butler, have an opportunity to make a play. He made a good throw, just a little bit wide of the mark.
Well, if you watched or were at last year's game, you know the name Braden McKenna, number 34 for the Lightning. And we have a penalty.
Looks like illegal motion on false start for Lapeer.
So it's going to be about 2nd and 15. We were mentioning number 34. You're going to see a whole lot of him out of the backfield. Last year against Brother Rice, 8 carries for 120 yards.
I say you ride him.
There he is.
There he goes.
And there he goes, picks up maybe 5 on second down. So far, he has over 600 yards. He led the Saginaw Valley League South in rushing last year, along with a guy who is now playing college football. His name is Phoenix Dixon. He was the MVP of that league last year, but they don't need to worry about him this year.
And on the defensive side of the ball, that's a good thing. And are you in the offensive playbook over there or what? That's 2 right on cue. 34 carrying the ball, and there he goes carrying the ball. Good call, Ryan.
Oh, I appreciate it. Maybe that'll buy me some goodwill for the rest of this game.
Now they're in a position they don't like to be in. 3rd and 11. They're not built for this. We'll see if they come up with some type of a little pass scheme or draw scheme, which worked very well against Rice for St. Mary's.
Well, and his name is Thrower, and that's exactly what he does. He had a man with a step, but that ball falls incomplete, and once again, we have another 3 and out.
Thought a really good job of the safety, Rocco Amelia, coming over to help out the cornerback there. Did a nice job in the inside-out look, running down the field. The corner had a good job with his arm, but Rocco with that support. So good job. A good thing the ball wasn't outside, left it inside.
Yeah, and Lapeer has been using 2 quarterbacks through the first 4 games this year. They have a little injury issue going on, so Thrower is going to be the main man today, and he is back to punt this one away. Gets the ball off. Pretty good punt. And it is fielded, but immediately brought down at the 47. Warriors going to take over in their own territory. Rocco with that one, but just barely in their own territory. Great position here for Brother Rice to put some points on the board.
Boy, and this is that punt by Coulter who puts them inside the 25, flips the field. Defense does a phenomenal job, gets them out after a penalty. And here now Rice is just on the other side of the 50, and they got a short field to work with.
9:06 to play in quarter number 1. Second possession for Brother Rice. 3 men at the top of your picture on first down. And quick pass goes out to Devereaux. He is going to be right around the first down marker.
Just a little short. Good ball, a little bit behind. Great job by Devereaux reaching back and grabbing that. Good hands catch.
Absolutely. So it sets up second and short, and that is the first completion for either team in this one.
Offensively, this is a phenomenal position to be in. Anything you want to run here, knowing on third down you get that short yard.
Rocco Milia at the bottom of your screen. Coulter in the shotgun. He is going to throw, and he's looking that way. There's the rock. He's got a step. He makes the catch down to about the 22-yard line. Got the feed in. Rocco Milia, the big playmaker, and he did it right there.
Tell you what, you put him on the field, you had better be ready. And Lucas Beck was a little bit inside. He saw Coulter throw that back shoulder. Rocco read it perfectly. Big play, first down. Rice has got something going.
You know, Coach told us in the past, they go to that dude when they need a play. And obviously, only your second drive, it's not a must-make-play situation. But, man, that dude just keeps coming up all the time whenever you need him.
Got to put your players in the field, get the ball in their hand. Good things happen.
Now first down, short field to work with, just outside the red zone. Oh, he pops it outside. Absolutely great run right there by Nolan. Gets it down. And we have another first down. Yes, we do.
And Nolan Ray looked like he could just bounce that right up the middle and put his foot in the ground, got outside the defense and makes a good run because every coach is going, keep going, keep. Oh, great job. Great job, Nolan.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just let them play instead of coaching too much.
Well, that's what they always say, right, Coach? You don't want them to think, you want them to react.
Yes, sir. That's this game. Absolutely.
First and 10 at the 10. Couple of guys in the backfield now with Coulter. La Canaria in motion. And this one goes right to him. Oh! He just missed his man, Cole La Canaria.
Well, that time Beck almost made a big play for Lapeer. He just misjudged the ball a little bit. Thought he had the slant to Melia from the outside receiver. He went to the wheel to the inside receiver. Could have had a big play, but we're fortunate, I believe, Rice is to have this ball now at second down and goal.
Yeah, no question. That looked like he was going to Cole that entire time. You said he had Rocco, but it looked like he wanted Cole on that one.
Absolutely. I think got a lot of room out here on the right side. Got the defender playing outside Rocco. I like a slant here.
Yeah, look who it is. You know where it's going. And it looks like that's where he wanted. And it's going to be incomplete. Looks like it just bounced off the turf. It was going to Rocco that time, but he couldn't haul it in going to the ground.
Good job by Jake, get him buying some space. Instead of taking a sack there, he gets out in the open. He makes a nice low throw, give us an opportunity for something. Once again, our ball or nobody's. Nice job by him on that one.
And it looks like we're going backwards, so we're going to replay that one. Not quite sure what the call is yet.
Looks like it could be a holding call in terms of yardage.
I think we're going back 15 maybe, Coach.
Yeah, holding in high school is from the spot. It's always a tough one,
Yeah.
If you're 5 yards behind, then you get the 10 yards. So it was a holding on us, 5 yards behind the line. It becomes a 15-yarder in essence.
Well, they got the ball. They got an extra down, but they got a lot further to go. Now second and goal at the 25.
Looking to pick up some positive yardage here.
And there it is, back to Rocco. And, whoa, he got it. He brought it in.
Nice.
Well, he's just committed to Columbia this week,
Yep.
As we all heard. What a wonderful thing. Great job by Coulter, giving his guy an opportunity to make a catch. They make a great play. He uses his body to shield off the defender.
Exactly, Coach. And we saw him do that last week as well. That kid knows how to use his body, knows how to position. And how about the throw, though? Knowing that that's what Rocco was going to do.
Absolutely. The guys have some chemistry they've built in the past 3 or 4 weeks together now. And maybe that's another reason why he's on the field more on the offensive side of the ball, because of that chemistry.
And he's the holder right now. He gets it down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. After a 25-yard touchdown by Rocco Milia, Brother Rice is taking a 7-0 lead here with just under 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. So they did exactly what we talked about, Coach. Thought they could take advantage of this Lapeer secondary. That entire drive outside of the one run by Nolan, where he bounced it outside, pass down the field.
And, again, you've got to play to your strengths. You've got to use what you've got as weapons, in particular when there's some young guys in the other secondary back end of the defense. And, again, I'm really impressed with the offensive line. I know they had a holding call, but Jake has had some time back there. It's a good job by them.
He definitely has. And the one with the holding call, I like the way he moved his feet. He got outside, voided a couple guys, got out, and just barely missed that touchdown pass. It would have been brought back anyway. But good job by him getting out of that pocket, staying on his feet.
You know what? Quarterbacks today, that's what separates them, finding a spot open to make a throw.
What do you like about him so far as the kick is away here? And it will be fielded. And he's got a little bit of room. At about the 27-yard line, that's where Lapeer will begin their second drive of the ball game.
And you talked about Jake a little bit and what I like about him. I think his consistency over the past few weeks has been excellent. He's getting better and better. He's consistent. He does not give the ball to the other team. He puts the ball in a good spot for us to make plays. And I think that's all you can ask out of a kid. He's a commit to Kentucky to go pitch.
Yep.
And here he is leading the Warriors as a quarterback. And, again, he's a junior. So
Absolutely.
They've got some things they're growing on as well.
And questions maybe coming into the season. I think he's answered it. He's played great.
No doubt about it.
Well, here we go. Lapeer pounding it on first down. And it's going to be about the 34-yard line. Pickup of 4 or 5 there on first down. No, even more than that. It's going to be about 7.
Boy, that McKenna's strong. I think he dragged 2 of us for about 3 or 4 of those yards, Coach. Holy smokes.
Yeah, he sure did. And we're going to be saying his name a whole lot today. He does get some help as well. Bronson Butler, the other guy in the backfield. These guys, they just pound it.
This is where I'd like to be, second and short.
And there he is again, McKenna around the right side. Don't think he got it this time. So it will be third and under a yard to go for the Lightning.
Like the outside zone play there, Lapeer ran, and to the strength of Rice's defense, which be their speed on the front 7, they're able to track him down for a short gain.
Talking to Coach K earlier this week, he said Lapeer doesn't do a lot. They really don't. But what they do very well. This time, Wildcat, and they may have gotten it. It's going to be right there at around the first down marker. Let's see if we get a measurement.
He called first down.
Yeah, he just called it, yeah.
I'll tell you what, it looked short to me, but that ref on that sideline called it immediately.
Yeah, immediately he was at the stick.
Yep.
So here we go, new set of downs with 5:30 to play.
Played a little Wildcat in that last down.
Yes,
here
they
it is
did.
again.
And they will do that.
Good tackle.
A great tackle there. That is number 2, Zach, with not quite a shoestring tackle, but.
No, but Potestivo coming hard from the backside, tracks him down, doesn't give up an inch, and makes a great play and holds him for a short down. And again, this is where Rice wants to win that first down against a running team, and they're going to stay in the Wildcat here, it looks like. A couple H-backs to lead up through, pull a guard or tackle, end up getting extra guys in the hole.
And here it comes right at the line. nowhere to go. Big time tackle by number 32. That is Oscar McWood laying the wood on second down.
His brother Ryan's real proud of that hit, who played linebacker for Rice some years back and still at Ohio, and very proud of him.
You know, it's funny. We talk constantly here about these guys running the ball and running the ball. We talk to coach. He's like, are you going to break some stuff out for us? Are we getting any tricks? And we saw it on the very first play of the game, and they are now doing this a couple of times. They are back with the quarterback.
Pass.
Here we go. And, oh, what a great tackle there. He is brought down for the sack. You got to love what these guys are doing on this set of downs. They did not let them get anything, Coach.
Absolutely. Great job. I think that was Sands who got in there initially. Number 75, Andoni, got there originally, and then it was cleaned up. They tried to use the running game, play action. Rice didn't go for it, came hard, and they were running man-to-man on the edge, which takes a lot of that away.
And what we were saying is, Coach, they said they might have a few surprises for us. They have had a few. They've ran a few Wildcats. They ran that trick play earlier, and Rice not shaking them at all.
Up to the task, 100%.
Here comes Cole. Got a little space. He gets the ball across the 45-yard line once again. Good field position for Brother Rice as they take over for the third time in this ball game. They will start on the 46.
Got a flag on the play. Looks like a hold or illegal block in the back on Rice. We're going to go back a little bit. Right at the tackle spot, it looks like. So 10 yards, we're going to walk back from that.
Penalties always big. They had problems with that in the first two games, Coach. The Warriors did, but they've been pretty clean since. So this one will start at the 35, 1st and 10 for Brother Rice, 3:19 to play. Thank you for joining us here on the State Champs Network. Ryan Slocum and Coach Pop along with you for Week 5 of the high school football season. Here comes Brother Rice now with a 7-0 lead. And it's handed off, not too much doing. Nolan, maybe a yard, setting up second down.
Again, good squeeze by the interior line there by Lapeer, and then linebackers cleaning up on the tackle. Very well played there in their gap sound defense.
Well, Lapeer is no slouch. They come in 3-1 on the year. This is the 7th year for Lapeer football since East and West merged back in 2014. They are the all-time leading win percentage team in the history of Michigan. Second down, Coulter slings it out to Rocco. Good cut back inside. He's going to have the first down. He doesn't go down until he reaches right midfield. He's at the 50-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a little chillier tonight, maybe the chilliest game they've played, and I really like how the Rice receivers are using their hands to catch the ball. Also, Coulter is just spot on with his throws. Very well done right there. Big first down.
He throws it to Milia, who you mentioned after the touchdown. Committed to Columbia earlier this week, so congratulations to him. Probably going to play in the secondary there, Coach, I would assume. But the way he's catching the ball, maybe a little on both sides.
Well, I'm sure they love him as a hitter and a safety. Very intelligent player, intelligent kid all the way around. They're going to use him wherever they need him.
Oh, we got a fumble on the exchange there. Coulter does fall on it, but they're going to lose 5 yards. Funny you say that. He's going to Columbia, and he had some other huge offers. He had big-time schools, Georgetown, things like that. And Ivy League, huh? You got a real dummy on your hand, huh? And he goes, yeah, he's a 4.2 kid.
Absolutely.
And he wasn't talking about his 40 speed. And I don't know which one's more impressive. His GPA, 4.2.
Well, he's comes from a very intelligent family anyway, but he's also a hard worker. He had my wife happens to teach at Brother Rice, and he had her for a prep class for testing, and said he is a solid, clean-cut, every day there to work hard student. And when I mentioned, hey, he's getting this, that, she said, oh, there's no wonder. Phenomenal kid, comes to work, constantly wanting to do and excel in his education as well. So, Columbia, that's a pretty good school to make some connections, I think.
I would think so. This is Jeff Land, who is down. He is all right. Little bit of a hitch in his giddy up, but I think he's going to be all right. He's walking off the field right now. Yeah, some of the other schools, Butler, Georgetown, Bucknell, Dayton, Penn, just incredible schools. I saw one of the coaches online say, I don't know what the dudes in the MAC aren't seeing from this dude.
Yeah.
What are they not seeing? He did have a preferred walk-on to Michigan, but he's decided he's going to go to Columbia, and that is just awesome. Good for him. Second down now in 15. Coulter throws that one a little bit low, so that is going to be now third down.
Again, that was a very good decision by Jake. You'll notice there was both a linebacker inside and outside of that receiver, and he said, you know what, I'm not giving them the football. I'm going to throw it in the dirt. We're going to play 3rd and 14, see what happens, and go from there. Very, very solid decision right there. Sometimes the best pass, I'm sorry, Ryan, can be the incomplete one. And right there is proof of it.
Yeah, absolutely, because then you're looking at 3rd and maybe 20 if you don't. Still 3rd and long. And once again, Cole now moving to the top side of your screen. 3 receivers up there. Coulter looking to the bottom, though.
A little screen.
Sets up the screen, and they've got some room.
Oh,
Nolan
boy.
breaks it open,
Here
and
we
he's going to go. Nolan Ray all the way. Brother Rice taking a 13-0 lead.
Boy, and that is something the past weeks they have really missed. He's been out. He was one of the kids who was ill. Or I shouldn't say that, was quarantined.
Yep.
He was never sick. But that explosiveness right there brings that offense really to another level.
Absolutely, and especially the last 20 yards or so of that run, because there were some guys closing on him, and he said, no, sir.
That's all she wrote.
You're not
in the end zone.
Yeah, you aren't closing anymore.
Boy, and they love having Owen Pardee back as well. I know we had a wonderful job by our JV kicker who didn't come out.
Absolutely.
Ends up hitting the game winner against St. Mary's in a monster win. But you can see Owen is the guy who can help this team, move forward. And let's all be ready. Honest here, everyone's in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's what everybody's getting ready for.
Absolutely. And we talked at the top of the show about right now Lapeer short 2 guys, 2 starters. Brother Rice, after week 1, was short 5 starters. None of them ended up getting sick, but they were exposed. Nolan Ray, who just ran the touchdown there, he was one of them. The kicker, also one of them. Well, how about that? If you didn't know, the kicker a few weeks back against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Connor Kolka, 3rd-string guy. He wasn't even on the team. Kicked JV the year before. 2nd-string kicker blows his knee out. So Connor hits up the coach. Coach, I think I can help. All right, come out. Bangs a 36-yarder at the buzzer to beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's a few weeks back. But now they are fully loaded. Pardee is back, and here we go. Oh, and we are going. This kick is taken all the way back across the 50-yard line down to about the 48-47. Lapeer now with good field position for the first time today.
Boy, that Alante Littlejohn really exposed a little crack and then bang, exploded up in there behind some blockers and put them in great field position on the right side of the 50-yard line.
So you're coaching this team. Coach, you've given up 2 big plays, 2 big touchdowns. What do you tell your guys here?
Well, you got to stay with what you do. Guys, we're not going to panic. We're going to stay with what we do. We're going to probably run the football here, get our athletes where we need to, use our offensive line. We got to get a hat on the defensive players, though. And there's a free 5 yards right off the bat.
Hard count there by Thrower. Got him to jump.
And Aristotle Taylor there, another one of the players who's just back for us. Little anxious to get it going right there.
So it is now 1st and 5 from the 43. The handoff goes to Butler. He gets hit right away. Loses a yard that time. Bronson Butler with absolutely nowhere to go. And I'll tell you what, Coach, this D-line for the Warriors has come to play the last 2 series.
Boy, Luke Sands was off the ball, tracked right down the line of scrimmage like you teach it, and, loss on the play. Phenomenal job.
Butler's still back there. He takes the handoff. No, he does not. Thrower keeps it this time. Great play. He gets out for the first down to the 35.
So there he is reading the defensive end. The defensive end sinks down with the fake run. He pulls it. He's got some room to work, makes a nice move, breaks out of a tackle, gets a big first down, Lapeer. And again, stay with what you do well. Let's run the ball.
And we haven't seen him run the ball yet today. He's a bigger kid, probably about 6'3". He can move pretty well.
Yeah, he did a great job right there.
And here he goes again.
So that's the outside zone look, and this time they go wide, Rice does, so he follows the big guy pulling up into the middle, and he's going to follow him. And nice job by the backside of the Rice defensive line and backer to come squeeze that down for a short gain.
Yep, they did a little better that time, just a gain of a couple. Second down as the clock hit 0. So that is it. 1 quarter in the books. 2 big plays by Brother Rice has given them a 14-0 lead as we switch sides and head into the second quarter.
I'll tell you what I like about what Lapeer is doing there. You mentioned that they did not have a good game against Grand Blanc and a really rough first half. And here they are. They could be in the midst of that again. But instead of trying to, hey, let's race to get back, let's do what we're going to do. Keep this slower pace for us. Keep that Rice offense on the bench because they can't hurt us when they're over there.
Yep.
And let's do what we do well.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They run the ball anyway. But when these guys are scoring as quickly as they are, you really got to pound it. You really got to run that clock.
And what Rice did with those couple of scores, when you throw one up like that and my guy's better than your guy, which we see a lot in football today. Yep. As a coach, you analyze and say, I don't know if I'd have made that throw. And then, my guy's he's better than that guy. And it's a different game today because of it. You see it now at this level often.
Absolutely. Here we go. About to get started here in the second quarter. 14-0 Brother Rice. This is the best drive Lapeer has put together so far. Now down to the 34-yard line in Brother Rice territory on 2nd and 7. And once again, thrower keeps it. And once again, he does not get much.
Well, that time they ran a pinch out of the defensive end, and Taylor came down hard, was very disruptive there. And then what they do is they loop the backer on the outside of him to cover that outside edge. Great call by the defensive coordinator there. Very nicely done.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job the past couple of series. And once again, 3rd series now on a roll. Lapeer is giving us a different look. They're throwing in the quarterback running it.
I think it's a good idea for them. When you run your quarterback, you are usually up a man because nobody accounts for him as a runner. So they get an extra blocker and a guy carrying the football, and in theory it's excellent. But with a fast front 7, they're running into some trouble with it.
We got 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Thrower looking over the middle. This ball is tipped, and it is picked off by Zach Podestivo. And he is going to give the Warriors the ball back. They take over. The first turnover of the game goes to Brother Rice. And maybe a little extracurricular. Oh, no. Okay, we are all good. It will be Brother Rice football. And, Coach, what do you see on that one? Looks like he may have short-armed that one a little bit on the throw.
Looked like they were running a little delay route of the receiver coming a little bit just beyond the line of scrimmage on a crossing route. You notice the quarterback got a real deep drop trying to suck the lineman away, but the linebackers stay with it. We get a tip. Linebackers right on there, and Podestivo brings it down and puts us back in business on offense.
And he now looks like a member of Run DMC down there on the sideline. He has the turnover chain.
They love wearing that, eh? The turnover chain. They've got all kinds of stuff going out there, shoulder pad stuff.
Here comes Nolan Ray. Cuts it back inside, doesn't get much. Yeah, Zach down there is carrying around his Mr. T starter kit. He doesn't seem to want to wear it, but whatever. You got to show it off however you want to do it.
What it really is a big smile on the face and everyone patting him on the back, and that's good stuff. Very nice. And then you see the defense is now huddled around the the big screen to check out the huddle sideline and see what's going on out there and what they can do better next series.
So it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 37. Locking area. Moving. He stops. Goes long. Oh, and it is dropped out there wide. That would have been a first down, obviously, for Brother Rice.
Looks like Bobby Rayome just kind of misjudged us just a little bit or caught his foot even in the ground. He seemed to fall funny and let go of that ball. Fortunately, he's not injured, so that's excellent. Quite upset with himself, as you would be. Good ball again by Jake. Good read. The linebacker expanded on Cole doing a little loop route out there. Open an area. He hit him in there. Just dropped the ball.
Yeah, you got to really be impressed with Jake so far, Coach.
Very, very impressed. Again, he works really hard all off season on the baseball stuff, so he's not coming to all the different types of trainings you could go to. But you know what? He's done a phenomenal job of growing with this team and building that chemistry. And I think that's probably the greatest asset they have is they're now coming together as a whole group.
And he has some dudes to throw to, doesn't he, now? They're helping him out.
I'm telling you, he has got some skill set out there. And that's Rayome, a kid we didn't even call a couple weeks ago, another really good athlete. He happened to have a drop there, but you know what? He's a good athlete, got into space there.
Yep.
Locanaria, Delamonte, Melia, one after another. I mean, that's a lot of people at the high school level to be able to throw the ball to.
Now, Coach, I want to ask you, you mentioned the defense coming down, huddling around the monitor. That's new over the past couple of years. So if you haven't been to a high school game in maybe even 3 years, you don't see a lot of this. Now you see it everywhere. How much has that changed the game? Where on the sideline you have that monitor and you can come down and show them what they did wrong immediately.
You're watching a replay, and the coach is immediately real-time coaching you on what we need to do better, blocking, running patterns, defensive blitzes. It is a phenomenal change to the game.
Here we go, 3rd and long. Brother Rice looking to put points on the board, 3rd possession in a row, and this one just off the fingertips of Nolan Ray. He had him once again, maybe just a hair in front of him, but another nice-looking pass there.
But again, you look from behind, in an end zone view, they'll see this. That ball was on the spot where it's not going to hurt us. It's only going to help us if we make a play.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most impressive things about Jake. He's putting ball in spots that we can make plays, and it's not going to hurt us. Great job there.
So they will kick it away, but it is Lapeer taking a timeout with 10:07 to go, 4th and 9.
I'd like to get back to the monitor piece.
Absolutely.
You see in the NFL, they all have they're all sitting there with an iPad or whatever the device that they're using, and they're doing the same thing now in high school. Of course, one monitor, they're huddled around it now on the other side to make sure that they're going to take care of some things that they didn't do well. And it's just amazing how it's helped the game. You're an offensive guard who's pulling out. You miss a block. Coach and say, this is the block we need in order to make things happen. So the next series you go out, it's not just someone told you on a whiteboard or a chalkboard. You watch yourself doing things well and things you need to correct. It has really enhanced the football game at the high school level.
When this first started, can you tell us how it all began and when, obviously technology has improved and whatnot, but when they told you, you've been a head coach, hey, coach, we can do this now. What do you do as a coach?
Well,
do you just start smiling?
You get goosebumps all over yourself because you do exactly what I said, is you get to show a kid what they're doing well and what we need to prove upon.
The punt is away, and it takes another Brother Rice bounce, and it is still rolling. And keep letting that sucker go down inside the 10. 2 beauties so far in the kicking game.
One of the coaches on special teams' nightmares is the kid or player who does not catch the punt. On average, it's about 16 yards, which is a 1st down and a half plus. That one had to roll 20, 25 yards.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal job. And again, completely flipping the field. Rice's, concept is now, hey, let's make them punt from here. We catch the ball on the 50. We got a short field. Lapeer says, let's get 2-3 first downs at least so when we punt it, we can pin them back.
And they have not been able to do that yet. They've had good field position on their last drive. This time, not so much. They are deep in their own territory. But here we go. That will help. Braden puts his shoulder down and just bangs his way down across the 15. That's going to be 8 or 9 yards on first down.
Boy, and the offensive line has got to love a running back like that. Give him just a little opening, and he's going to pound it up in there.
McKenna is the son of the sheriff of Lapeer County, Coach. So you better like what you see, and if you don't, you better say you do.
Or if you are, please drive slowly through the town.
That's right. That's right. He is the greatest football player I've ever seen, Coach. You know, just the great. You know, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you say. He's phenomenal. I really like that kid. Boy, oh boy, what heart, what drive. I don't know who his parents are, but they're doing a great job with him.
No, I'll tell you this. You don't have to lie because the kid is an absolute stud.
He is.
Absolute stud. Led the Saginaw Valley League South in rushing last year as only a sophomore. Over 600 so far this year, and he's going to try to get his team back in the game right now. Speak of the devil, here we go. McKenna brings the ball to the 25 for a gain of about 4 yards on first down.
And you got, Lab Ruzi right in there, and you got McWood on there. But again, if they're ripping off 4 or 5 yards at a time, that's exactly what Lapeer wants to do for this game. Keep Rice's offense over there watching and them moving the ball down the field.
Second down, 6 to go from the 25, 8:30 to play. A little drop off there. They're going outside with it. That will be a first down. And it is Bronson Butler this time on that the sweep that really goes down as a pass, right?
Nothing. What a great thing for a quarterback. I just kind of catch it and put it to you, and
You're
I
right.
get 10, 15 yards
Right.
for passing yardage. That's awesome. Coach, let's run that again. And again, it's just an outside zone concept, a little bit quicker because your player is in motion, running full speed, catches it and goes. Good play call right there.
And again, Lapeer is mixing it up. They hope this time it amounts to points. This time it is Thrower, but he is met 17 on 17 that time. And, we have a flag.
17, though.
I have a feeling Thrower threw a kick right there at a Rice player. I'm not sure what incited it. If there was something, must have been something as they're pointing towards the Rice player for a personal foul.
Yeah, Velasquez with a great tackle there to stop Lapeer from gaining even more yards. A little bit of a tussle there. Maybe walking over him a little bit after the tackle.
Could have been a taunt, absolutely, or maybe he also did something that we couldn't see up here with his feet.
Well, and that is what it's going to be. It's going to be on 17, Brother Rice Velasquez. So it will be first down. Big 15 for Lapeer. The only thing Brother Rice is doing wrong so far is they got a couple penalties stacked up.
You can't hurt yourself. Can't do it. It ends up biting you every single time.
So now Thrower is in business. He hands it off to McKenna. Doesn't get much going to the left side.
I like how Rice, they run to the ball very, very well. That front seven in particular, there's not a lot of guys who are running away from them. And this kid can run. He's got good speed. And just when he slows down a little bit to make a cut, Rice so far has had someone in his hip pocket bring him down.
Yep, he has not been able to do too much so far today. Second down, 9 to go. And it goes right back to him. This time he does pick up more than just a couple. It's McKenna down to the 41-yard line.
Good vision for a running back. Just like I said, very small creases, and he's able to get inside there, and he's a powerful kid. You know, he must be hitting the weight room and doing some squatting because he does not go down easy on contact.
Sure doesn't. Third down, 3 to go from the 41. Lapeer trying to get something on the board before they head to halftime, and there he goes. McKenna this time does break free. Rocco is going to get to him before he finds the end zone, but you were wondering and thinking it might just be a matter of time before he breaks one. He broke one.
And you missed one tackle. We had a Rice defender in there in the thigh area. He said, nope, I got to keep going, gentlemen. And good thing that Rocco was able to track him down, or that was going to be 6. But, hey, they started this drive inside their 10, running, and they're doing exactly what they want to do. Keep the clock moving, and Rice's offense on the sideline. First and goal.
Lightning are in business. First and goal at the 7. This time the Wildcat to McKenna. He pounds his way all the way up, and he is in. Touchdown Lapeer, just like that. The pound in the ground works for the first time in this game, and they are right back in it, 14-6.
What an impressive drive. 91 yards, I believe, as they started from the 9. You know, a couple of Rice penalties hurt him, as you mentioned. We have a Lapeer player down. I don't want to speculate who it is, and hopefully he'll be okay. Just an impressive drive right there.
Yeah, absolutely was. 36 yards on the carry by McKenna. And that's what that kid can do to you. You just give it to him, you give it to him, you give it to him. And that time he did have more than a cut. He had a 9-yard carry in there. He had a 7-yard carry. He's heating up a little bit.
I'll tell you what, you don't want him get going. You know, great running backs get stronger and stronger and stronger for 2 reasons. They're in great shape, and the defense kind of gets a little bit tired towards the end of the game. And you kind of see it wear down right there in that drive right there. Great job by the O-line as well, giving them creases. And what that wildcat affords them is that extra blocker, either in the backfield or on the line, however they decide to play it, and it's really tough to account for that guy.
Well, unfortunately, Coach, we have a break in action, and here we go. This is good to see. I was going to say we have not seen this player move really yet. We are now seeing that. He is up. He is on his feet. Big number 74, Cole Salmon. And he's moving slow. Looks like a leg maybe, Coach. You don't want to say for sure, but
yeah, let's hope it's an ankle and nothing else. It's a little tough putting some weight on his leg, It looks like.
Getting his buddies to help him off. Hope nothing but the best for him. Good to see him up and moving. So we get the point after.
Boy, just what Lapeer needed, eh?
Absolutely.
Perfect timing.
And the kick is up, and it is through just like that. We got ourselves a ball game. It is 14-7, 6:28 to play in the first half. Lapeer right back in it, doing what they do. Marched right down the field. Most impressive drive we've seen today, 91 yards.
And again, phenomenal job of sticking with what you do like we said they have to do. Don't have any panic, and now it's 14-7, guys. Let's go. We got something going. We hope their player Salmon's okay, and he can come back, but it was a very impressive drive.
And that could be big, Coach, because this game will be won in the trenches, especially if you're Lapeer, because the way they do run the ball. And Salmon's a big fella. He's a hoss, and he helps the running backs obviously get those yards. That could be a game changer.
I'll tell you, first of all, they lost a couple starters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that hurts. And then if you get someone dinged up in a game, you know, it's adding a little salt on the wound. Because like you said, they just want to hold on to that football and not let the speed of Rice be a detriment to them.
Yeah, they aren't thinking about that right now. They just put some points on the board. They're hoping to get this ball back. A little squib keeps the ball out of La Canaria's hands. And that didn't seem to matter one bit, because it's Velasquez bringing this sucker all the way back deep into Lapeer territory.
It's amazing how in the game of football, you know, you make a mistake. He had a penalty in that drive, and you know in his head, I got to do something. I got to do something. Bang, he gets the opportunity, and he does something.
That's a great point, because 15 yards. They ended up breaking one right after that. And here he goes. I'm going to help. I got to get it back for my boys here.
That's right. I let him down. I got to pick him right back up. Great job.
So you want to talk about back in business. Brother Rice is starting this drive out at the 36.
And they're 20 personnel, a couple of backs, no tight ends in this one. The first time we've seen that. There's a lead
Nolan
blocker.
Ray, all sorts of room. How about that cut? Yeah, that was USDA choice right there. That's another first down for Nolan.
Yep, you're picking that up at the deli, taking it home, and grilling it up. That's exactly a great call, Ryan. Nice feet right there. You know, they added that lead blocker in there, and it got on a linebacker who opened a big crease. And that kid can really run the football.
Absolutely sets up another first down. The clock is still ticking. 6 minutes to play before halftime. 14-7. Same formation as before. Coulter with a couple of guys back there with him. And this time they hand it off again, but this time Lapeer a little bit more ready for that one.
Again, using the lead blocker on that scheme there, just kind of ran into the back of them. Looked like he might have had a little bit of a cutback lane, but, you know, sometimes in mid-play it's so difficult, you know, if you don't have that vision to see that. And so you stick with what you're going to do and run it up in there. So I never blame a kid for that, and he held on to the football as well.
Yeah, you don't always see quite the cut like we saw Nolan make there on the previous play. 2nd and 10 from the 25. This time it is Nolan, number 22. And he is going to be brought down after another big gain. This time he takes it 20 yards down to the 5.
Boy, is he explosive when he gets that ball. And I'll tell you what, I like 11 leading and Ray right behind him because that seems to be working really well.
Yeah, those last two runs by him, all sorts of space.
Absolutely. Wide open creases, big holes, not even creases. Those are monster holes.
Well, now we're seeing these guys mix it up a little bit for Brother Rice. They've been throwing the ball a whole lot on their first few possessions. This time they're running it straight up the middle on them. And here he goes again, this time outside, slips a tackle, still on his feet. He is brought down inside the 5 this time, setting up 2nd down.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am really impressed. There's an opportunity where he could have been dragged down for a loss of 5 or 6, and instead he runs through it with good power and speed and ends up getting them even close to the goal line. I believe they're on the 3-4 yard line here, ready to score.
2nd down, you are right. They are on the 3. 4 minutes to play before the half. Brother Rice trying to extend that lead back to 14. And here we go this time. It is 11, and he is in there for the Brother Rice touchdown. Man, Coach, they did not take long at all.
I'll tell you what, he ran that one hard, and I'm sorry at home. We do not have number 11 on our roster here, and it's very frustrating because what a great play. Comes back after running into back to somebody. Miko Stewart, that time following the block from Ray and taking it in strong. I like the 20 personnel they put in there.
Absolutely. I was going to say it was Isaiah Thomas, but Miko Stewart, a couple of carries for him. A couple of nice blocks, as you mentioned as well, Coach. And he gets in there to make this a 21-7 game with 3:52 to play. Coach, the only thing I would say is maybe they didn't take enough time. Man, they made short work of that drive.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, the big run back, you know, so they get set up by Velasquez just outside the 30-yard line. They go to a new look for the defense to, you know, play against, and they used it very, very well. Some gaping holes for the guys to run through, and it looked more on the right side than the left. So maybe that's what they did with Stewart in that one. So you know what? Let's not go to the left. We're sealing that right side nice, and sure enough, he goes into the end zone and answers right back. Great job by Rice answering on a great drive by Lapeer.
Well, and once again, Lapeer is coming off a nice drive of their own, 91 yards. They have 3:52 to work with. Kick is away, and here they come. And they know where to go. Little John brings it to the 25, so this time they're going to have to go 75 yards. But it looked like they finally found their groove, Coach. They pounded it every time. Last time down, had the 36-yard run, had a 9-yard run in there. Got helped out by a big penalty as well. But what did you see on that drive last time Lapeer had the ball that they're going to try to duplicate this time?
Well, I think what they did a good job there is I think the offensive line was able to swing, their behinds into creating a hole for the running back. And, of course, he exposes every time you do that. McKenna's phenomenal vision. And they made just a couple big cuts for a big run. They're excited to get the ball back, and let's see if Rice learned anything on the screen on defense here.
3:46 to go, 75 yards on first down. Thrower is throwing. He has a man, but this ball is thrown short. And that'll bring up second down. He was going to the running back, Bronson Butler.
Little wheel out of the backfield. It's a very difficult cover if your defense doesn't have good eye discipline. And they had great eye discipline there in the run fake, and the DB stayed where he was supposed to, ran with the wheel. Nicely done by Brother Rice there. Like the play call, though. Use your run game sometimes, maybe pop a good one right there. Great job.
Try to pop one on first down, catch them off guard. Second down now. Thrower has McKenna behind him. And nope, that is Butler. And this time, Butler takes it down to the 43. And, man, he exploded out of there, didn't he?
Tell you what, they brought a couple big hosses from the left side of the line and pulled them around. One kicks out, one runs up in the power. He followed right behind him, then put that right foot in the ground and ran for 12 yards. Very nice run right there. Speed and power out of both of those backs. It's no wonder they go back and forth with them.
That usually works for you, doesn't it?
It does very well, especially when the big guys are in front of you. That's always fun to see that.
Great run there, setting up first down, 3:12 to play now. And here he is again, this time to the 46. Butler. They're running the Butler package right now, Coach.
I'm telling you, what they did there is they brought the H back to one side of the defense, so that takes your eye discipline with him, and then they bring the guard and tackle around to the other side and create that seam for him. They blocked it extremely well, and you got Rice crisscrossing a little bit on defense, and that's where they get big runs.
Second down at the 46, and we are going to have a timeout.
Brother Rice going to regroup here, I think, on defense. Well, I tell you, I am extremely impressed by the movement of the offensive linemen for Lapeer. They are some big kids who are moving extremely well.
And Big 74 is not out there right now. We saw him limp off the field on the touchdown run. So he is not out there, but doesn't seem to matter. The rest of the fellas are stepping right up. They're doing a great job.
And, they don't get enough credit, so I'm going to throw some names out there, and you guys will know them in Lapeer as Morrell, Vanneman, Metziger, Salmon, and Masterson are doing a phenomenal job. And when I got the information from Coach Smith, he said, hey, listen, we got to ride the big fellas. They did it on the 91-yard drive. They're trying to do it again here, and you can see why. They're very, very well coached and move extremely well.
Absolutely. Coach Smith has been doing it for a long time, 23rd year in Lapeer. Of course, he was with Lapeer West for all those years, 7 years now here as the combined Lapeer.
And
was an assistant on that state championship team back in '95. And it is Butler again, and look at that cut, little stop and go. Great pickup. He is now down over to the 46-yard line. Lapeer, once again, a first down.
And that's Metzger right on cue. Number 67, pull out. He kicks out the defender. And Butler says, hey, thank you very much. I'm going to go right inside of you and get another 10 yards. Great reading of the block there.
So it has been all Butler on this drive. 3 runs. They tried to run that wheel out to him on first down.
Here comes McKenna.
And here is McKenna. Jumps ahead for a gain of maybe 2. Not as much on that one.
Well, Stewart came off the edge very nicely, and instead of coming up the field, stayed a little flatter down the line there and ended up getting a piece of him, and that disrupted the run, and good job, only a yard gain.
So Butler came running out on the field, pressed pause. He's bringing the play in. So you got both guys in the backfield right now. When you're the defensive coordinator and you see those two dudes back there, what are you thinking there?
Well, first thing you think is, hey, we have got to make sure that we have our eye discipline we talked about. So when guys are pulling, we're going the right way. Secondly, hey, guys, stay in the gap you're supposed to stay in. We got a chance if we do that. And when you run out of a gap, that's where they run.
Yeah.
Because they're good vision backs.
Gap discipline. The ball goes to McKenna around the left side, and he has a burst of speed. He stays on his feet down inside the 30. And, man, Coach, these last two drives, they got their groove back, man.
Well, I'll tell you what they did there with Butler is they put him in the Wildcat and let him read the defensive end. The defensive end stayed, so he gives it to his buddy who rips off a big run. And essentially, nobody blocks the guy, and he's blocked because the quarterback is standing there.
They have 1:07 to work with. They have the ball inside the 30, and they are taking up big chunks on every play. This time, quarterback keeps it. It is Butler. He is still cutting, and he is now down at the 15-yard line.
And they have 64 Vanneman out in front of him on that one, and he fakes to McKenna one way. Butler keeps it. Again, he kicks the guy out. He cups up inside there.
Clock still moving. Lapeer has a couple of timeouts to use, but 45 seconds on the clock.
And they don't want to leave a second out there, trust me.
They sure do
Rice
not.
To do anything.
It is Butler taking the Wildcat, going left, cut. He is hit, and he is brought down inside the 15-yard line. And it looks like we are now going to get a timeout with 28 seconds. How about that jumbo line they had lined up? You knew where that one was going the entire time. One of those two backs was taking it.
There's a lot of single wing offensive lover guys out there who are saying, hey, I like this. Snap the ball to one of your best players, get some big fellows out in front of them, and see what good can happen. And they're ripping off 4, 5, 9-yard runs. Thankfully, McGood was running inside out, was able to make that play. But, boy, oh, boy, they're really on a roll.
They get their tight ends in there. You know, you got a guy like Gavin Hartman who's running 6'5", 250. You got Ryan Rubik, who's a big kid. His dad played in the NFL, a tight end. You get that lined up, man. That looks like just a wall of white.
And I'll tell you what, not only again, I'm just impressed with how they're moving their feet. You know, they're not out there just lumbering. They are leading very fast backs who are doing a good job of reading their blocks, and that combination is lethal.
And to their credit, Brother Rice did a good job. They stopped that one. Second down, 6 to go, 28 seconds on the clock. Here comes McKenna, right on cue. Nowhere to go because of the orange hats.
Boy, I think Taylor was in there on that play in a heartbeat, and he was joined with a couple linebackers on that play, but he disrupted that play. Again, that pinch from that end. So the tackle sees him coming outside shoulder, and all of a sudden, bam, with good speed and strength, he's inside him on the snap, and it disrupts the run game big time.
Well, Coach, we have another timeout for Lapeer to stop the clock. Third down. You got 13 yards. You got 6 yards to a first down. What are you doing here? You running it one more time? And are you 4 down territory here?
You know, they've got a pretty good kicker. So you're saying to yourself as a coach, listen, we need something positive out of this because we've done a very good job. We had a great job. Rice came right back. But we need to make sure that we get some positive points out of this. So I think you see what happens on this down. I would imagine since they're running so well, if it's close within a yard, I bet they go for it on fourth down. So we'll see what happens.
Something else I want to mention that I just noticed here looking out the corner of the press box. It's good to see. Got a little bit of a student section over there, Coach.
Yes, we do, and I'm sure they're excited to be here. And it's a little bit more than just a little one. We got some jumping up and down. We got some Halloween looks, and I don't just mean the masks.
Exactly. Well, here's a big down. 3rd and 6 from the 13. And it's going to be a timeout for Brother Rice. Checking out the lineman. And now they want to talk it over. But, yeah, great to see. You know, last week allowed to have about 1,000 people in the stadium. First time that happened. It's good to see people out here looking in front of us. pretty much everybody is spaced out with their family. I don't mean their families are spaced out for everybody at home. We aren't ripping on the folks now. But spaced out, got their masks on, and like you said, good to see the students over there for the first time this season getting to cheer on their guys.
Yeah, they're excited, and of course we're very close to Brother Rice High School, a few miles down the road north. So they're excited to be close to home, and they can come to the game and have a student section. And it's great for high school football because that is high school football.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We missed it the first couple of weeks. Here we go. 3rd and 6. Thrower, back to pass. He's got a man, overshoots him. So it will be 4th down, and thrower took a shot there. They got at him.
I'll tell you what, very good pressure. Probably wanted to hold on to that a little bit, but he went to Butler. It was the Butler series, and you called it the Butler package from run to throwing, and now they're going to put their kicker on the spot here and see if he can come through and get David Smith, put one through here and make it a little bit of a closer. And again, positive points after a very good drive is what they're looking for in this 30-yarder.
He's sitting right at the 20, so it will be, as you said, 30-yard field goal. 18 ticks on the clock, so Brother Rice will get another shot. Kick is up, and it is blocked.
Oh, and here we go. There's Rocco Amelia.
Big play, Rocco. And he is going to take this one all the way back.
Wow, what a backfire on that one. After a phenomenal drive coming all the way down, they end up with a blocked field goal attempt. A couple guys kind of looked at the ball, and Rocco said, hold on, I'm the smart one here. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to Columbia, and I'm going to run it back for a touchdown.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, Coach. I think they thought there was a dead ball. They were just kind of looking at it, not knowing what to do. Rocco says, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
he takes it back 70 yards. And, man, what a game changer. You think you're going to be maybe a chance to tie this game up, at least get within 4. They take it the other way, trying to go up 21 now into the break.
It's a tough break, and I got Coach Batanti sitting right here. Hey, can you run that back? And Rocco said, yes, Coach, I can run that back. And he did.
Wow.
We told you don't want to leave any ticks on the clock, and unfortunately for Lapeer on that one, they left enough with that blocked field goal for him to run it in, get the extra point, and go on a big emotional high at halftime.
Well, we talked about the smarts of Rocco. We talked about the 4.2 GPA. We talked about him going to the number 3 university in the world. He was the smartest kid on the field right there. He puts his Brother Rice Warriors up 28-7 as they head to the sidelines for halftime. We are going to head to a video package. If you are a fan of Tecmo Bowl, if you are a fan of Madden, I suggest you stick around for this. Plus, Mr. Football Talk, we will tell you the latest right now.
Jackson gonna take it himself. Spins inside the 5. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens!
For gamers who were around to see the first rudimentary attempts at a digital translation of America's favorite sport, today's Madden video games would literally blow their minds. But designers had to start somewhere, right? And that distinction goes to 1972's simply titled Football for the Magnavox Odyssey home console. The very first football arcade game didn't come along until a decade later. 10-Yard Fight offered a huge advancement in graphics, but the gameplay remained very basic. Unlike the first PC game, 1985's NFL Challenge, which allowed players to act as a coach and run plays selected from a series of menus, the outcome of the plays was determined by the strength and weaknesses of the competing teams. The real game changer in these early days was Tecmo Bowl, which made its debut in the arcade but reached peak popularity on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Tecmo Bowl was the first console game that partnered with the NFL, so you could pick your favorite players of that era, like my personal favorite, Bo Jackson. The game also blended exciting gameplay with offensive and defensive play calling during the course of an entire season. In 1988, right on the heels of Tecmo Bowl, came the very first iteration of Madden football from Electronic Arts. The game offered unprecedented customization, but was limited by the lack of both an NFL license and the ability to play a full season. The turning point came when the sequel was developed for the 16-bit Sega Genesis and arcade action was prioritized. The game went on to sell almost 500,000 copies and ensured a future for the long-lasting franchise. The 90s saw an explosion of football games, and one of the best was NCAA football. The series began as Bill Walsh College Football in '93 and was developed by EA as a complement to their Madden series. NCAA football included many unique features, including Dynasty Mode, recruiting, and included archaic offenses like the triple option. The series ran until 2014 when the NCAA decided not to renew the license due to a legal dispute with college players. The winner of the most controversial football game ever goes to NFL Blitz from Midway, which was the home of Mortal Kombat. So it should be no surprise that the Blitz series featured over-the-top extreme violence. The NFL, however, was not happy, and some of the more disturbing elements, like the vicious late hits, were toned down. After 9 different games were released, the original series came to an end when the NFL gave an exclusive license to EA. And now, what many consider to be the greatest game, ESPN NFL 2K5.
3rd and goal.
Sega launched the series in 1999 for their Dreamcast, and by 2004, they were the only real competition facing Madden. In a bold move, Sega slashed the price of their game in half, but it ultimately backfired as EA moved to secure an exclusive deal with the NFL to protect their franchise and effectively end all competition for Madden. Today, football gaming has even entered into the world of esports with the Madden Challenge, where professional gamers go head-to-head for serious cash and, of course, the championship belt. Who would have ever predicted anything like this? What a long, strange journey it's been. Hey everybody, welcome back inside the State Champs Sports Network studios for another update in our State Champs Mr. Football race presented by Hungry Howie's. Go get yourself a pie, will you? Sean Belizean is here joining me as always. And Sean, we are going to talk up 2 more guys. Our leading vote getter is one of them.
Yeah, you know what? This is such a great time of year because what you're doing is you're looking at a situation where there have been some mainstays on our list, not just this year, but for the past couple years. And there's some guys that are making some noise and on what we like to refer to as our watch list. First of all, let's start with the mainstays. As you mentioned, Andrel Anthony, he's been unbelievable. He's been on this list for 2 years. I think everybody knows he's going to end up going to Michigan. He picked up where he left off last year. He's a touchdown machine. He scores a touchdown each and every game. That's just the way it is. He's got an outstanding team in East Lansing as well. So Andrel Anthony, not only is he on this list as the leading vote getter, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a kid that could very well win this award when all is said and done. How about Zach Traynor? Here's another guy, mainstay. 2 years he's been on this list. He continues the incredible lineage at Walled Lake Western. 6'2", 205 pounds. And just to remind everybody why he's been on this list, how about last week? 4 more touchdown passes in a 35-24 win. The Warriors now 3-1 on the season. And much like Andrel Anthony's team, this is a dangerous Walled Lake Western team. They're going to have to be reckoned with in Division II. Lauren, as you mentioned, we talk about our watch list. So the next few weeks, we're going to bring some names that might be playing their way onto our list. How about Caden Woodall from Livonia Stevenson? Check out these numbers from the 6'1", 220-pounder. Last week, he had 296 yards and 5 scores on 28 carries. This is a guy that's playing both ways as well. I had an opposing coach tell me he is a truck. So Caden Woodall from Livonia Stevenson, by the way, 4.0 student heading to Harvard. How about that? To continue his career and education. We'll be keeping an eye on that young Spartan, Lauren.
We have seen Ivy Leaguers get into our Mr. Football competition over the years, so that is nothing new. Zach Traynor was one of those guys that we were unsure if he was going to be able to really stay on the list based on early competition. He set a school record for passing, and that's saying something at Walled Lake Western last week. So it looks like for now, Zach Traynor is safe. And again, we want to hear from you guys, as we did regarding Woodall. We were enlightened of his stats and his performance this year about guys that should be considered to be a Mr. Football candidate. You can do that by emailing us, contact us at statechampsnetwork.com. Remember to vote. It's very, very important, especially when we're breaking down if guys should stay on a list. Obviously, Andrew Anthony, way far ahead. So continue to do that. You vote at statechampsnetwork.com. You can contact us. We will see you on the gridiron and next week for another update. Time now to take a look inside Lawrence Tech football. Going into its third year as a program, the university announced a new head coach back in February. Here's a quick look at the Blue Devils' Avant Mitchell.
I'm elated. I mean, this is a gift from God. I mean, I'm from Detroit. I've been here for the majority of my life outside of my coaching style, so it's kind of taken me away here or there. But this is a phenomenal university. It's located in a great place, and we have a great institution here where the degree here takes you far beyond many other. So it's been about, I think, roughly a 2-month process. I was tabbed the interim head coach, I believe, back on December the 6th, and we're kind of in the hotbed of recruiting, so we've just been transitioning, trying to rally the troops and also drive home a great recruiting class that we've been working on, and most importantly, just continue to build a foundation of our program as we take the next step forward. I think the biggest thing will be culture. I think that's something that's going to be very, very huge in us. The culture that myself and our staff we put in place will be very key on the future of our football program. This will be my 8th year within the Mid-States Conference. It's the best conference in the country. What will help us the best is the fact that we've got tons of experience from this past year and even the year prior. So we will build upon that experience. The foundation of our roster right now, those young men who are part of what they call the first 45, first 45 young men who came into the school and signed first. We got a great portion of those guys still here. We're going to build upon that foundation and use the experience that we had, and on top of that, bring in our next crop of recruits.
NAIA college football will return in the near future. Do you have what it takes to be a Blue Devil? Let the coaches know and recruit yourself by going to the football page at ltuathletics.com. Hey guys, welcome back in the studio. Time for another update in our State Champs Anvil Award competition presented by Hungry Howie's. The Hall of Fame coach Tim Beckler is here, and he's fired up because he's got a couple of guys that he wants to talk about, actually both committed to the same university. Before he does, I do want to say that we have made a change. This is the first change that we've had, the first shakeup in the Anvil Award competition. Rayshawn Benning for Oak Park has not played. He's got a knee injury. He might come back. When he does, if he plays his way back into the competition, that could happen. But for right now, we could not ignore this gentleman from Fenton any longer. He is now a part of the competition. Why don't you talk about him?
Josh Thompson from Fenton. Offensive tackle, defensive tackle, 6'5", 290. Again, committed to Northwestern. Josh, so far, through 4 games, has not given up a sack. Excellent pass pro technique. Just his balance, his footwork is just perfect. And I would like to know how strong this kid is in the bench press, because he is strong. He smacks people.
He has aggression out there, it's no question.
He's got a great punch. He's a great athlete. He can move. But when I watch his run blocking, I mean, it put a smile on my face. This kid finishes with his feet. If he doesn't knock you down with his punch, he is strong. In fact, a lot of his pancakes, he finishes them so strong that he flips over them in a somersault after he finishes the block. I mean, he is dominant. Defensively, he's a J.J. Watt type, absolutely crushes the run, but he's lengthy, he gets to the quarterback's face, he bats balls down. This kid's really moved up a lot in my list. He's a great football player.
Preseason All-American, so he's playing like it.
Yeah. And then our next young man is Caleb Tiernan from Detroit Country Day, offensive tackle and defensive end. 6'7", 280. I just can't believe the size of these kids we're talking about. Also, like I said, a commit to Northwestern. He had a nickname called the Mini Fridge in youth football. In fact, he was too big his last year to play, and that's probably happens to most of these kids, you know. He's also a basketball player, and you can tell it's really helped his feet. He moves very well for a big fella. Pass blocking, what I really liked about him was his discipline. He waits. He doesn't go attack. He waits for them to come. He doesn't get out of position by overextending or leaning. He keeps his weight back, and I was really impressed with that. Obviously at 6'7", he's got the long arms, and he's got a pretty strong punch as well. And when it comes to run blocking, you know, to be that tall and be able to get out of your stance and have pad level and keep leverage, he does a very good job at it, and he delivers a great blow. And what really impresses me about him, and really all these guys we're talking about, they finish their blocks with their feet. They do not stop until that whistle blows. And like I like to say, to the echo of the whistle, they finish. At defensive end, he's got a pretty good speed rush for being that big. And you see him making plays on quarterbacks in the open field. He gets to people. Very impressed with him, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a chance to see Tiernan in person in the playoff win that Country Day had over Harper Woods last year. I was very impressed. He is a mountain of a man, but he has got a lot of nimbleness to him, if that's a word. All right, well, the Anvil competition continues on. Rocco Spindler in the lead in the vote, in by a lot. Shared kind of a funny story on our Extra Point podcast this week if you want to check that out. But I do not want to discourage anyone from voting in the competition just because Rocco has a sizable lead. We do look at how the fans are participating in the Anvil Award competition and how they are voting for their guy. So if you continue to prop up and support your guys, that helps in our evaluations on if we should be moving new guys into the competition. So just keep that in mind. If you have guys, just as we were alluded to, in terms of guys that should be considered for this competition, we want to hear from you. Send us an email. Contact us at statechampsnetwork.com is the email address, and we will check them out. He's Tim. I'm Lauren. We'll see you next week.
Welcome back to Bloomfield Hills. Ryan Slocum and Coach Pop along with you here on the State Champs Network. Thank you for joining us. If you are just now tuning in, Week 5 of the high school football season, Brother Rice leading Lapeer as we are just about to kick off the second half, 28-7. Coach, obviously massive momentum swing on that final drive. Lapeer had the ball going for a field goal. Looked like they were probably going to get within at least 4. All of a sudden, No, we're going the other way. We got a touchdown. Rocco Milia as the buzzer sounds. They got a lot of work to do here.
Well, they're getting the second half kickoff, so they're in there talking about, hey, guys, one drive at a time. Again, as they were down early 14-0, they put that 91-yard drive together, and that's exactly what they needed to do, and they did it how they do it, running the football, aided by a penalty, a big one, but at the same time doing what they do, and again, there can't be panic. And you know what? Coach has been around 36 years. He's not panicking. He doesn't like what he saw, but he's not panicking. He's saying, guys, we're going to hang in there. We're going to keep doing what we do well, and they're not going to try and chuck the ball all over the place. That's not their forte. So, and I give them a lot of credit for sticking with that.
And they have moved the ball well the last 2 drives, so they've got to be happy with that. And if you're Brother Rice, obviously you want to lock down that running game a little bit better on those last 2 drives. You got to be happy with everything, maybe except for a couple of penalties in there in the first half.
You know what, I think they're, number one, they got some players back. Having Nolan in the backfield, hitting some big plays to their receivers. The return by Amelia, that was stuff they were missing. In a couple of close losses, they lost to good football teams. So I'm sure they're feeling really good by their big strike capability and excited to see. But I also think on the defensive end, hey, guys, let's shore a few things up, make those tackles when we're in the backfield so they don't turn into a 9, 12, 36-yard run and keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, Lapeer really did move the ball well those last couple of drives. And then they gave up the blocked punt and return by Rocco Milia. Let's see how they respond here to begin the third quarter as Brother Rice kicks it away. This time the ball's going to go into the end zone. It will be a touchback. Lapeer will take over. And, Coach, what do you like about their run game the last couple of possessions? Because they weren't doing too much there on the first few, and then the 91-yard drive where they found the end zone, they really seemed to figure something out.
Well, I think in the beginning it looked like they were doing a lot of drive, just downhill blocking. One step in a direction, drive a guy. I think what they went to is they started pulling some linemen side to side, get the H-back going the other way to pick up a backside end or a backer who may be coming. And I was super impressed with their offensive line footwork and movement. And then secondly, the vision of their running backs, reading those blocks, I think made a big difference for them. And let's see how they come out. Again, they have the H-back in the backfield.
Thrower hands to McKenna. McKenna around the right side. He gets brought down after a gain of a couple.
And like we said, they're going to go right back to what they do. And what they want to do here is they want to go 80 yards, put one in the end zone, and make it a 2-score game.
And on that last drive, the one that was stopped by the blocked field goal, it was Butler doing a lot of the work on that drive.
You called it the Butler package, running and throwing to him. So,
yeah, here they go. Butler is, and looks like this one's going to go back a couple of yards.
Offside on Rice is the call here.
So we will go the other way, making it second and very short for Lapeer.
Boy, and a team
how do you like the way they use Butler, Coach? Because you're looking at him now, you got him split out wide, you see him in the backfield. They got him all over the place.
Got to play your athletes, and you got to find spots for him. When you got a great back like McKenna there as well, you got to make sure and give him some opportunities back there. Looks like the ball's on the ground.
And, wow, what awareness by Thrower. He was still in the backfield, and he came over. He saw that thing hit the turf, and the QB got in there and got dirty and got down on it.
Well, good for him. There's a lot of guys who would shy away thinking, uh-oh, if I go in there, I might hurt a shoulder or something. He dove right on that football. Good team play right there.
He sure did. He came from 5-7 yards deep, dove on that with the throwing shoulder, and got in there to make sure his team kept the ball. But they do lose a few, so it's going to be 3rd and 5 now.
And back to the use of Butler, I think you got to put your guys where they have an opportunity to be successful to help your football team, and Coach does a good job of that.
And here he goes. Thrower finds a man, but, man, he overshot him. He had him, and he knows it. That's Jet Land, who had all sorts of space out there. If they could have hooked up that one, he would have gone a few yards.
I like that play action look. They usually use him as a blocker, follow him behind the guard, turn up in the hole. So the linebacker's looking at the same thing, and boop, slips into flat. He was wide open. He just overshot him.
Yep, let it sail just a hair. Big break for Brother Rice. Lapeer can't keep that momentum going of the previous 2 drives, so now you have Rocco back there to field this one. This kick does not go too far. Skies it. Rocco gets away from it, but it does take a nice bounce for Lapeer, and Brother Rice will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And Rocco had called for a fair catch and decided there was just a little too much traffic. You know what, I'm going to get out of the way. If it bounces and goes, it's not going to hurt us too bad. Very good decision once again, and they're just about almost to the 50-yard line there at the 44-yard line.
And we saw Brother Rice on their last possession really mix it up. We saw a total different look, didn't we, Coach, that last time to make it 21-7.
Yeah, they put a couple backs in the backfield. It's called 20 personnel. You have 2 backs, 0 tight ends. That's why it's 20. Looks like they're going back to 10, 1 running back, and 4 wideouts, no tight ends.
3 at the bottom of your screen. This looks like the first few possessions of the game. Here they go again on first down. The handoff goes to Nolan Ray, and once again, it is a first down pickup, another gain of over 10 yards. Man, he has really been doing some work the past couple of drives.
Well, he makes this offense a complete package where they were really throwing the ball in the past few games. Coulter started on fire. Now you add that running element, and when you're complete, it's tougher to stop than ever. Huge hole made by the O-line.
That's what I was going to say. How about the big fellas giving him all sorts of room to work with? First down once again, now into Lightning territory. Coulter hands it again, and once again straight up the gut, and a great cut. He might go all the way. No! Nolan Ray brought down almost at the 5-yard line, but man, he is doing some phenomenal work up the middle of that field.
They're running just a little counter step out of him, and then he gets to pick a hole, and there's just not enough guys in the box to defend it. They're going 3-on-3 in the edge. They have a safety back on one receiver here, and we're getting our guys hat on a hat, and that's always good for a running back to see.
Well, and how about that, Coach? You know, they're using maybe the passing game the first few possessions to open up the run game. And the run game is what has done it for these guys the last 2 possessions. And there you go, once again, 2 behind along with Coulter. Same look we saw last drive. And flag on the play. You know, going back to Ray, Coach, we were talking at halftime, and, you know, this guy might be the fastest guy in the Catholic League.
Yeah, that's what we've heard. He's one of the top 3 kids in the Catholic League, and he's running the ball, and, you know, speed kills. You ask any coach. It's really difficult to teach speed, and he's got it for sure.
Well, you're seeing that with the current Super Bowl champions. Just get little dudes that can run fast, get them the ball.
You better believe it. And, boy, they got a trigger guy who sure gets them the football, don't they?
Yeah, he plays a role, I guess you could say, as well. Brother Rice losing a couple of yards. It will be first down, and now it looks like we're going to get a timeout.
A little confusion in the backfield. It looked like Ray was talking to them, and either he was telling them what to do or asking what to do. Either way, you know, Coach said, hey, listen, let's take a timeout. We're in a good position. So Coach Deutsch calls a timeout. Let's gather ourselves. This is a big drive to really put them ahead. You know, 35-7 is what they're going for here. That's a big score to overcome, especially for a running group in Lapeer.
And, Coach, the last game we called, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's game, we mentioned at the top, first time a quarterback has gone for over 300 for Brother Rice in 6 years. Coulter throws for 320. I don't even know if they ran the ball 10 times in that game. We are seeing it now that they're healthy, now that they got their guys. We are seeing a great mix. And, man, those big chunks we were seeing before through the air, we're seeing it on the ground now, too.
And I'll tell you right now, speaking of St. Mary's, when they go 5 in the box against your 5 guys, they'd not be able to do that if Ray was out there. There's no way, because it's an easy straight-up block for everybody. He picks the hole he wants to run through, and boy, it just adds a huge element to an offense.
Man, and we have seen it. He can cut like a surgeon out there when he gets in space. We'll see if he gets the rock again. He does. Still on his feet, but brought down short of the 10-yard line.
Good, strong run, but the defensive surge in the middle was very, very strong that time. Both linemen and the linebackers getting in there, getting a piece of Ray.
We have 8:30 to play in the third. Brother Rice looking to add to their 21-point lead at about the 12-yard line. Second down. And we have an official blowing this one dead.
Oh, he's just asking them to put the markers down because they're not involved as it's a goal-to-goal situation.
Yep, you saw on the far side of the field, those markers come down with Coach Smith over there.
Wouldn't mind a little play action here. Let's see if they use that.
Nope, it's just Coulter dropping back. He has Cole Lucanaria maybe a hair behind him. Cole tried to go up there and get it, though.
I'll tell you right now, that is one that Cole does not drop normally. Mentioned earlier, a little chillier tonight.
Yep.
The ball gets a little more slick. Got to have a little more focus. And early on they did. That was, I think, only his second maybe throw, a target tonight.
Yeah, and they have not thrown the ball a lot the last couple of possessions, and why should they? They've just been pounding it down their throats for huge chunks at first down, darn near every single time they touch the ball. On top of being a little slick, a little chillier out there, fingers don't bend quite as well out there,
right.
Coach.
I like them doing that play, though. You know, practice for something. You got an opportunity to do a little practice. You know, they have four wide outs in this set. See if they don't use the pass again.
And we're getting a timeout from Lapeer this time, and it was there, Coach, too. That's the thing. It was there, just a hair off. But that definitely had 6 written all over it.
And again, I know Jake would have loved to put that a little bit lower. However, he had a defender to get it over a little bit, and I know 9 times out of 10 Cole makes that catch. It's just one that didn't happen that time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things, and especially the way Jake has been throwing the ball today. We've been talking. He has been pretty accurate, if I can say that correctly, all night.
Absolutely he has, and that's an accurate call, by the way, Ryan, so good job.
Except for the whole speaking part.
Hey, you nailed it in the end. That's what's important. I just like that Rice has more of a complete package with the run game. Now the defense cannot sit on one aspect or the other. They've got to cover the full thing. You know what? That's not easy to do, especially with a kid who's as fleet of foot as he is.
Absolutely. Well, here we go after the timeout with 8 minutes to play. 8 and a penny on the clock. It is now 3rd down.
A little inside out possibly out there with the bunch trips on the edge.
Got them all bunched up. Coulter plenty of time, and look who it is once again. The Columbia kid. The Rock bringing it in right at the goal line. His 3rd touchdown of the game. A pretty good week for old Rocco, eh?
I'll tell you what, a monster commit, great place to go to school. Catches the first touchdown pass on a back shoulder kind of a throw, goes up and gets it. Takes one back that no one else wanted to touch for a touchdown. And then over there, courage over the middle, knowing I'm going to get hit, stays in there. And again, Jake, right in the gut, keep him safe, touchdown.
But just like Coach said, I don't know what some of these coaches are seeing, or more like aren't seeing from this kid. He is doing everything on both sides of the field. Brother Rice, after the extra point, now leads it 35-7 with 7:54 to play in the third. Man, they are doing work, Coach.
I'll tell you what, and you know, to speak of just a little bit to the Rocco Mealy situation, I'm wondering. We had a player many years ago, well, not many, too many years ago, Sergio Perkovic, who kind of let everybody know, I'm going to Notre Dame. I'm going to be the best lacrosse player in college lacrosse and then pro, so I'm not playing college football. So he didn't get a lot of offers. I'm wondering if Rocco kind of didn't give that feel out. I'm going to be an Ivy League kid. I've got some things on the table I really like, and maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't come hot and heavy after him.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he keeps doing more things like he's doing today, he's got at least one more regular season game, and then who knows after that. people may be saying, did we make a mistake here?
And even though he's committed, maybe we should talk to him anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. Kick is away. Lapeer bringing it back. This ball is going to be down at about the 25. Once again, Little John on the return. And once again, Lapeer is going to have to go a long way, 75 yards this time. Let's see if they can move it like they did toward the end of the first half. 3 and out once again, last possession.
You know, great running football teams often have a lot of running backs, and Lapeer's got 2 of the best, McKenna and Butler. This Little John, even though he's just a junior, he's got good feet. He brings the kickoff return back. It's just tough to break the lineup with such good guys in front of you.
Yeah, when you have those 2 guys, and we've seen Thrower break a first down run as well. Let's see if he gets involved in the run game again. Not this time. Back to throw. Dumps it down. And here comes McKenna. And he is still on his feet. He's tiptoeing down the sideline. Let's see where they mark him out. Biggest play Lapeer has had since that 36-yard run in the second quarter by McKenna that set up their first score.
Really like what the coordinator did on that one is they take a throw. They're in, 4 wideouts, what they haven't been in all night. And they throw a little screen pass, which is going to be safe. They got great blockers out in front and a great runner. Give him some confidence, and they break off a big play. Because now they're in a time where they've got to do some things.
Well, and he's in space at that point, and he can do his work as well. Nobody near him before he picked up 20 yards. Here he comes again, this time the handoff, and look at him, just kind of plowing his way, keeping his feet moving, and he gets down to the 43.
Takes Andoni, McWood, and Taylor all to bring that kid down. He is one strong runner. But good job holding on. 3-yard gain. Let's play the next down on defense and stop him here. And then Lapeer's thinking, you know what? Let's keep going. And as we speak, here comes Little John into the number 3 receiver spot. Maybe they have plans to get him the ball through the air. We'll see.
And Butler in the backfield as well this time. And the ball goes to him, and they knew it. And he is still on his feet, but he is down behind the line of scrimmage, although yellow flag does come in.
Often this is a unseen by us kind of face mask. If it's on the defensive side or a hold, maybe we didn't see, but it looks like he's going to walk in the northern direction, which is good for Lapeer.
Yep, got to think that is – you think that's face mask there, Coach?
5-yard incidental.
Yeah. Exactly. Good call by you. Something we can't see from way up here in the booth, but probably the case because there was 4 or 5 dudes right on him the second he touched that ball.
Tough to see in the scrum, and that's why the guys right there in the stripes are right there at the play, and they make a good call right there.
So it sets up 2nd down, 7 to go. Thrower, all sorts of time, although now he's moving. There is a flag as he throws it out of bounds.
Now this one is usually in the area of somebody's holding a defensive lineman who's putting on pressure. Thrower does a good job to escape. Looked like he had a guy in the open out here, and I heard a booth yelling, throw it, throw it, throw it. So I'm sure the coaches saw that as well.
Yep, I heard the exact same thing.
A lot easier from the booth to see it when you're running instead of running for your life, though.
And having to throw across your body, which he had to do, coming to the left side. So after giving up 5 on the incidental face mask, we now move the other way, setting up 2nd. And they're still moving back, so we'll wait to give you the yardage on this one.
And I'll tell you, that's that offensive hold. Happens 5-6 yards behind the line, and it's 10 from that spot.
And especially when he's rolling out. Moving backwards, you're looking at a loss of all the way back to the 40. Thrower has to throw this time. He has tons of time again. Thinks he's going to run. Bad idea. He is nailed by 2 different Brother Rice Warriors.
And again, I think they were setting up the screen as I see the offensive lineman releasing down the field. And Rice's linebackers did a great job with just staying on him and in the area, did not throw it to him.
Aristotle Taylor taking him down.
His cousin August is real proud of that play out there. August played back a little bit for me when I was at Rice. Great kid, and I'm sure he's proud of his cousin.
And this snap goes over thrower's head, and it is on the turf. McKenna comes up with it, but he loses 20 yards. Brother Rice hoping to get another scoop and a score. Didn't happen, but, man, they moved these guys way back. Man, on this drive, you look at where the sticks are at. They are at the 46 on the other side of the field. Line of scrimmage this time down around the other 20. The 23.
Situation where Cole is back to the field this punt and catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball.
4th and 41 as they punt it away. This one takes a Brother Rice bounce, and it is landed and stopped at the 48. Brother Rice in great position to once again put some points on the board. They take over in Lapeer territory with 5:05 to play in the third, and they are already up 35-7.
And I would be a betting man to say, hey, listen, let's keep working that running game. We get this kid some more touches. Again, we're working for next week and then playoff week. Let's work this chemistry with our blockers and our runner, which we haven't been able to do because now he's back. So thankfully we have that in their back pocket.
When we're up 35-7, let's run some clock too.
That as well, absolutely.
You spoken next week, Country Day up for Brother Rice. The state champions in Division I, Davison, up for Lapeer. And there he is, exactly as you said it. But he says, I don't care about your time clock, Slocum. I'm picking up 13 yards.
Hey, Coach Deutsch, just keep feeding me the ball because I'm liking this kind of football right here.
I would love to see the yards per carry for him right now because it seems like he gets a first down on first down darn near every drive.
And I'll tell you what, Rice's O-line is feeling really good about we don't just have to pass block. We can go get some people now because we got our running game in order.
And how about the D-line on that last drive, Coach? They got after the quarterback, and they stopped the run a couple of times. You know, they got the penalty on the one, but, man, right on as soon as that ball was handed off. Coulter, quick pass to the sideline. Looks like those two weren't on the same page. Coulter was looking to the stick. Receiver going inside.
Yeah, that looked more like it was going to be a 5-yard out, receiver and a 10-yard out. I'm not sure exactly what was supposed to be run or thrown, but that's exactly what it looked like. So someone's out there going, hey, it's not me, and the other guy's going, yeah, it was me.
Well, brings up second down. We saw Miko a little gimpy coming off the field. Think he's going to be all right, though. He's walking over toward us. Got a little hitch in his giddy up there as he goes to the bench. He's still standing up, going to grab some water. Here comes Coulter throwing in this one straight into the turf. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
See what Rice has in mind on 3rd and 10. That was Hartman, I think, might have got a hand on that one, on that knockdown deflection right there.
I'm watching Miko over here, Coach. Looks like a cramp down here on the trainer's table.
Yep, looks like they're working
bending
it
those
out.
toes back.
Good story, Miko Stewart. Accepted by the guys back on the team this year. Very excited to have him. Wasn't with us until early last week.
Coulter.
Good ball there.
Great ball.
That's
and
the
he
freshman.
is still on his feet. Still on his feet. My gosh. What a run there by Zavi Bowman. He just wouldn't go down, plinkoing himself all the way down into the red zone.
Boy, and again, that's a freshman who just right there is like, hey, let me get involved a little bit. And Coulter says, that sounds good. You're open. Great job. That's how you earn a little respect out of your guys, too. Stay on your feet. Getting hit, but don't go down. Great job right there.
Yeah, picked up at least 10 extra yards after bouncing around. He gets down to the 14. Once again, Brother Rice looking at that paint.
Erases an incompletion or two right off the bat, doesn't it?
Yeah, you forget all about that. Great throw by Coulter. He's back in business.
See if we get back to Nolan here.
3 receivers at the top, the freshman down at the bottom. You called it. They do go to the tailback, but he is hit immediately. We haven't said that too many times.
No, little run blitz there, little disruption with him in the backfield. You have to make that extra move behind the line, and sometimes that's troublesome, and sure enough, the rest of the defense rallies, makes a good play out there. Nose guard, Hubbard came in there at the end there and brought him down.
So it's 2nd and 10 now, 3:10 to play in the third.
Football weather tonight, though. A little chilly out there. I love it.
It is. It definitely is. And they go back to the freshman, and look at that. That's going to be a 14-yard touchdown. Number 24, Bowman.
Boy, great ball again, right in the chest, in the end zone. Bowman really rewarded for his efforts about fighting down the extra 10 yards, as you mentioned earlier, and then a touchdown reception on that.
Well, Coach, how about that? They put him out there by himself as a freshman. You know, he's the guy that's going to get it. We have seen Rocco in that role a bunch of times, and this time the freshman coming through with 2 big plays on that possession.
And nothing like building your players as you're going later into the season. Get him involved, make a big play. You know, it's very exciting for him, but more importantly for the entire team, building another player.
And, Coach, I love that because you knew where I was going. They did a lot of that last week with the win over Bloomfield Hills. You got a lot of guys that got to get some playing time. They have already a lot of because of the ones that missed due to the COVID concerns earlier on in the season. But when you win a game 43-7, you get to play a whole lot of guys because you never know when you're going to need them.
Well, in this team, because they were hit early with 5 or 7 players who were out against both CC and St. Mary's, got a lot of playing time for kids who otherwise might not have played. And that is absolutely going to play dividends. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but they've got some seasoned guys now instead of a fresh guy off the bench. They got a player coming off the bench, and that's a big difference in playoff run time.
So Zavi Bowman with a 14-yard touchdown had a huge pickup earlier on the drive, and when you can add him to Rocco and La Canaria and Devereaux and
and
Ray
Ray
Monte and Ray,
oh.
Those are some weapons. Nice return there by Lapeer. Ball gets to the 30-yard line where they will try to find something going.
We're at the running clock here now because in high school it's 35 points in the second half. And back to your point on Bowman being so wide open and having so much space. When your run game is clicking, the safety has to kind of come inside a little bit towards that tackle. And you know what? You give a little more space to any receiver out there, and it's a heck of a lot easier playing with that much space than when you're getting tight and have a safety on the inside.
Absolutely. We are looking at almost polar opposites from last year's game, Lapeer against Brother Rice, Week 8. This one has been all Warriors. Little Wildcat here, nice pickup. That is Butler taking it about 7 or 8 on first down. I love his explosion, Coach. When he gets that ball, man, he's like he's shot out of a rocket.
I love him out of that set where they get that extra blocker. Tough to account for the quarterback. They can run the zone read with him if they choose to, where he reads a player they don't block and either give or keep it, or he can run power out of this. You got 2 great backs in the backfield.
And we are doing it again. This time it's Butler handing it to McKenna. Look at him cut, and look at his speed cutting back inside. He is down to the 25-yard line. Huge pickup that time by McKenna. Lapeer needs to make something happen very fast. They need to make a lot happen. They did right there.
Yep, great run there again. Very well blocked. Good job getting the snap to begin with by Butler, and then get it to your other great back who's a buddy. And good job by Taylor sprinting down the field. Melia slowed him up. Taylor from behind makes the tackle instead of it going in for a score.
And we are seeing that again. Butler now at quarterback. He keeps it himself this time. McKenna in front of him. And he hits the sideline, not quite to the 15-yard line.
But a good pickup of 6 or 7 again on that QB sweep with a couple big fellows pulling out around from the left to the right and following a couple extra blockers.
And, Coach, with these 2 guys, and obviously at this point you got to score on every possession. But how do you like this when you have this now with Butler taking the snaps? You don't know which one of those guys is taking it now.
Yep, and again, then he can't be keyed on. You know, you got 1 and you got 2. speaks to the eye discipline of the defense, and one guy makes a mistake, and these guys will expose it, and that's what they're hoping for here.
Third down now. 2 to go. Let's see if they get a playoff before the end of the third quarter. We are at 10 seconds. Clock still running. Looks like they are going to snap it away, and it is a bad snap, and it is the Brother Rice Warriors picking it up, and that is Aristotle grabbing that one.
You are talking about 2 series in a row. First of all, he makes the tackle on that long run, gets the fumble recovery. The last series was the bad snap. He makes the tackle on the quarterback. Great play by him. Couple of fantastic dynamic series for him.
And once again, Lapeer, we talked about mistakes. Coach told us the only thing really getting on our way has been us.
That's right. That's
and
right.
We're seeing it again today. We saw it on the last possession just before the half. We're seeing it right here. You had a great drive going. Didn't look like Brother Rice could stop them. They stopped themselves with the bad snap. Aristotle right there, and now we're heading the other way.
Well, in the play before, he had to jump up a little bit. He was fortunate to come down with it and get it to McKenna for a good run, but on that one was just a little too hot, a little bit too high. Only could tip it one-handed. And however, the defensive line in a fury coming up the field and ended up getting a recovery.
So we head to the final stanza of action. 12 minutes to play. Brother Rice dominating this game. It is 42-7 as we head to the fourth quarter. Coach, heading into the last game of the season, this is pretty much everything you could ask for, is it not?
Over 70 points scored, and we have a quarter to go here to see what happens. In the past couple of weeks, you've got your players back who are out quarantined. It's a crazy time we're in, and that they got caught in it, as many teams have. The shifting of games this week alone. CC was supposed to go against Rouge, and they're playing UOD instead. It's one after another.
Yeah.
But on their end, feeling great about getting some guys who wouldn't have played some playing time. But you get your guys back, and you know what? Past couple of weeks, looking like a well-oiled offensive machine.
Absolutely. And we knew this was a team that they could possibly throw the ball on. They could get some big chunks on this team, and they are doing exactly what they planned on doing as well.
Well, they opened up early. You mentioned it perfectly. They opened up early with a couple of deep passes and hit them. So what does the defense do? Puts a little bit more support for the back end. Bang, Ray hits them on the running end of things. What do? They adjust to the run, and then they hit the freshman out on a slant for a touchdown after that because they open up space for him. So I think Rice is doing a great job of taking exactly what they're given and making good things happen from there.
So here comes Brother Rice. They will begin this drive on the 39-yard line. Cole Lacanaria in motion. Handoff goes to him on the sweep. He comes around, gets hit. We got a flag coming in after he picks up of about 3 yards.
Getting a little bit different look there, doing some things. Good job getting the ball into a playmaker's hand. Looks like a hold call. Yep, going back 10 from the spot on the edge there. And even though it's a running clock, when you have a penalty, they do stop the clock on that. And they'll be getting it running right off the bat here.
Well, Coach, this game is far from over.
Well, it's 11:42 from over anyway.
Yeah, it's 11:42. There's still an entire quarter to play here. But what I was going to say is, you hold a Lapeer team. We're talking about the offense. You hold a Lapeer team to 7 points. That is impressive.
And on top of that, it's exactly how they wanted to do it, a 91-yard running drive.
And that time, the run went nowhere on first down. So it will now be 2nd and 15. Got a player shaking up, but I think he's going to be all right. Big number 63, shaking up a hair, but he doesn't look like he's coming out. He'll be okay.
That's good news. And unfortunately, we had one of the big fellas go out earlier for Lapeer, and hopefully he is okay. 74, Salmon, one of their leaders on the line. Hopefully it's just something that he can take care of this week and get healthy.
So a little bit of scrambling. All of a sudden, Rice now quickly to the line, quickly hands it off. And once again, nothing doing as they come around to the left side.
And Charlie D'Angelo getting some getting reps in there. And again, you know, let's build another player. Got an opportunity to get some playing time from some guys. Let's use it. If you remember, D'Angelo was the starting running back for us against CC and St. Mary's, so quite capable.
Yep, absolutely. Is Ray one of those guys who they did not have for 2 weeks due to the COVID concerns? And you mentioned it, well-oiled machine right now. And there's the handoff, and that looks like that might be something.
Tate Kaiser on a great run right there. Very nicely done.
Absolutely, and he slips a couple tackles, stays on his feet. Big-time pickup. The clock obviously still running. We are in running clock time. But they have crossed over into Lapeer territory now with that first down pickup.
Well, you love when a player comes off the bench and he's watched the starter do some good stuff and he says, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. And what's that do for the team? Just makes you better. Makes you better.
Absolutely, and you said it. We're getting to see some of those guys right now, some of the newer guys out onto the field for Brother Rice. Hoping to show the coaches, hey, I can do it too. Charlie D'Angelo pretty much hit at the line. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
You got Josh Filer at the quarterback now, so he's doing some communication with the coach, getting some reps with that. Again, you try and prepare the best you can. Hopefully nobody ever gets hurt. But in this game, it's a one play away from being on the football field. So good job by the coaching staff.
Nick Devereaux's still out there. Henry Garrity is out there, rocking those pink socks. Handoff, and once again, new personnel, nothing changed. The middle of that field was wide open, and they picked up another huge chunk.
And you know what? Speaks to the offensive line play. Hey, guys, I don't care, coaches, who you put behind us. We're going to make holes. Just let them run through them. Let's go, Tate. It's your turn. Great job, O-line.
Absolutely. That has been there all day, too. As soon as they started running the ball, it seems like the middle of that field is open, and they're picking up at least 10 or 12 every single time. It's first down at the 32. This is number 31, Charlie D'Angelo. Not much doing on that one.
No, very, very good play by their Mike linebacker coming up, number 50, Connor Turbrack. Great job reading the guard, filling the hole.
We're down to 7:15 in the game. You have Savi back in there, caught the 12-yard touch. Last time down, he is at the bottom of your screen.
Really like them getting the number 2 quarterback some snaps in this situation. Again, you never know, so he's going to be ready taking that snap, getting the communication from the sideline. As D'Angelo carries the ball, good defensive surge right there again.
Absolutely great hit. Stopped him dead in his tracks.
Again, it's Turbrack in there raking havoc out of that linebacker position.
So 3rd and 13 to go. Coach, what do? You're up this much. You mentioned the backup quarterback. You just run this one again, or do you let the kid throw the ball?
I think you run it. That would be what I would do here.
They are throwing it.
Well,
and he's looking at Savi. He has him out there. Throw a little long and out of bounds. So the clock does not stop because we are in running clock time.
Excellent coverage there by the defensive back. Mm-hmm. And, again, good decision by the quarterback. I'm going to throw it wide. Ends up out of bounds. He knows the clock isn't stopping. It's a running clock time. So good job by the Q right there, Filer, putting that ball out there.
Well, and how about that? He knew where he was going, too. He knew he was going to his freshman to go make him a play.
Absolutely. Made one earlier. Let's have another shot.
So on 4th and 13, Brother Rice is going to go for it from their own 35-yard line. And they are throwing it once again. Filer, no, he was going to take. Well, he does throw it. How about that? As he's going down, he finds his man, flips it to him. Gianni right there to get it. They don't get the first down, but that's about as exciting of a 4th down non-conversion as you will see.
No doubt about it. You'll watch that in the film, and everybody will, hey, and pick that kid up again, get his spirits going. That's a great job by Josh. Little improvisation and a great job by Gianni holding on to that football.
Well, and again, you don't get the conversion. You turn the ball over, and it's one play. But you got to like that out of your backup quarterback to have that kind of awareness to make a play like that.
And confidence.
Yeah.
Sheer confidence. Worked all summer. I know watching him on every high school field that was ever out, and it paid off right there.
Lapeer coming back at it. This is McKenna. Refuses to go down. No quit in him. He drags the defender. And he picks up, 15, all the way down to the 44-yard line. No quitting those guys today. Just too many weapons for Brother Rice.
One of the greatest signs of a well-coached team is no matter what the situation is, they're giving all effort all the time. And that's what you're seeing out of Lapeer right now.
And here comes Butler. He's cutting his way again. He gets down to the 40. Another big pickup, 15 on that one. So they're going down, but they definitely are not going down without a fight. And like we said, this team is not used to being held to 7 points. The last time that happened was in the season opener a year ago. They were beaten 17-7 by Lake Orion. And I couldn't find, in the 1 second I looked, I couldn't find another 7 on there.
Yeah,
so these guys are not used to that.
Well, and you said they're the winningest percentage program in the state of Michigan. 7 years they've been a school and a team. And that speaks to obviously the coaching that they've had, but also the kids coming in with an expectation of we're going to win football games. And you don't win a lot of football games only scoring 7.
They've had one season in their existence where they have lost 4 games. They've had 3 double-digit win seasons. They've gone undefeated numerous times. This is an impressive win when you can knock off a Lapeer team 42-7.
Well, you said holding them to 7 is a phenomenal job by the defense. And offensive explosion, save for the return by Rocco on the blocked extra point. Phenomenal job offensively. There's Little John carrying the football there.
And we got another holding of the ankle / whatever going on further on down the field. A little frustration maybe from the Warriors.
Good to see Ryan Irvin out there.
From the Lightning. Yes.
He was the one who was hurt his knee or dinged up his knee a little bit against CC. Nice job coming in, making that play.
We're down to 2:15 to go. It is 3rd down. And here comes the quarterback keeping it himself. And he is hit 33. He says, Ryan Irvin, nice closing speed once again, Coach. You've been talking about it when we had the Orchard Lake game a couple weeks ago, and today you like how they get side to side, don't you?
Absolutely. And Ryan's older brother, Dylan's proud of him. A lot of brother combinations out here with McBood and Irvin, Lockenaria. You see that in the Rice teams, and you see that in the Lapeer teams where the families stay and they stay with the school and they just continue a great tradition.
Ball is on the ground, and I believe it is picked up by Brother Rice. It sure is. Number 38, Michael Wayne with the recovery. Yet another turnover for Lapeer, and that will just about do it.
I believe we'll be taking a knee here, and wish Lapeer safe travels home. It's probably going to be a quiet bus ride home, as it usually is after a tough loss like this. But you know what? They'll come back ready to play next week, no doubt about it.
Well, they're going to need to. As we said, they are playing the defending Division I state champion. They're buddies from right down I-69, Davison Cardinals.
Now
And
you got the third guy, Mark Gochi, in here at quarterback. So, again, getting another guy some snaps. There goes Tate again.
And once again, up the middle of that field. And he's going to pick up 20 yards for a first down as we are down to 25 seconds to play in the game. That will probably be it right there, unless they take a knee. Brother Rice, what were you most impressed with in this game, Coach? I ask you with time still on the clock because there might be a few things to say.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I just was really impressed with they opened it up in the beginning with the passing game, and then they really solidified the running game tonight. So going again, it's Country Day. Country Day is going to look at having to stop everything, not just one or the other.
Well, that should be a heck of a game to close out this shortened 6-game season. This was a great one if you are from Brother Rice. They dominate in all 3 facets of the game. Brother Rice improving to 4-1 on the season. They knock off the Lapeer Lightning, who fall to 3-2, 42-7. Any last words, Coach?
We said in the beginning, Brother Rice wanted to flip the script from last year. I believe that they did. And great win for them. Real proud of the boys. And, again, getting both facets of the run and pass game. And defense, again, flying around side to side.
They sure did flip that script a year ago. Lapeer coming out on top 34-10. This one, all Brother Rice all night. The Warriors improving to 4-1. They win this one 42-7 for Coach Pop, for our director, Big Kev. For everybody at State Champs, we appreciate you sticking with us tonight. Hope you have a great rest of your season. We will try to as well. From here in Bloomfield Hills, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on State Champs.
We ask the senior parents, please make your way down to the gate and out onto the track.